Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PCT Podcast, episode 28. Ladies and gentlemen, right off the bat, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to cover in this episode. Not only media news and film and video game news, but also a lot of news regarding the channel and stuff that is coming relatively soon. But before we get into all of that, I am joined by Miguel.
Hey.
As well. That was very, just a lot of excitement there, Miguel. I'm also joined by Max.
Hey, how's it going?
And real quick before we get into the topics, let's get some housewarming out of the way. How you guys been?
I'm doing good. I bought some paint for my room because I'm gonna go repaint it and stuff.
Not gonna sniff it.
You can.
gotta huff that paint. It just a disclaimer: we do not advise anybody to huff paint. That is very dangerous and can kill a lot of your brain.
Yeah,
but if you want to, go ahead and do it.
Don't do it.
Stop you, but we are not encouraging it. I repeat, pop culture today does not endorse huffing paint.
Yeah, we're not advocates of smelling paint. What about you, Max? How are you been, man?
I've been cold a lot.
Yeah.
Very cold. Turns out I've got a Raynaud's phenomenon, or at least that's what my doctor thinks it is.
Mm-hmm.
My body doesn't know how to heat up properly. So I have to take medication now and open up my blood, my vessels and stuff like that to allow my skin to heat up.
Have you tried a warm bath?
That always shocks my nerves. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I get into the shower and I take like a hot shower, which is nice. Like I like the water on my back and stuff like that. I love hot showers.
Mm-hmm.
But every time that water hits my feet, it's like it's like needles hitting my feet.
Ah, man, I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Dang, man. Dang. So I mean, what is like the worst case scenario here? Like what's the
well, my arms will turn purple.
Mm-hmm.
Usually whenever I go through a cold temperature change, it'll look like somebody's putting a rubber band on my arm, cutting off the circulation. Like my entire forearm will turn purple and blue and spotchy and stuff. And waking up in the morning, my feet will stay. Like if I wake up cold, I'm going to be cold for like a minimum of like 8 hours until my body heats up, and that's after putting on like socks, shoes, all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Dang, man.
Yeah.
I think we might have to start an OnlyFans to help get you some money and
pay for medical bills
Yeah.
and stuff. I went to go get an ultrasound on my heart to make sure there's nothing blocking my arteries, and that's not what's causing it. But they told me it was going to cost me $345 with insurance, mind you, to get a 15-minute procedure done for essentially an X-ray on my heart.
Yeah, we're starting that OnlyFans, so guys, be sure to look out in the comments or in the description. Probably in the next video we'll have an OnlyFans link. Just donate as much money as you want to help Max get cured.
Yes, I will give you all the feet pics.
No, yeah. I was just about to say I don't know whose content's gonna be on here, but
I will give you all the feet pics.
I was just about to say I don't know whose content's gonna be on this OnlyFans, but
I can't promise you that they're gonna be my feet.
His purple Thanos feet.
Yeah, man, that might be a turn on.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, we're moving on, man. But real quick, I just want to open up the podcast with a few small, I guess, big things that are coming to the channel. I recently, I was talking with everybody that's in the group chat for Pop Culture today. We had a, kind of a brief conversation about everything, but a lot of us have just finished high school. A lot of us are about to move on with life, and whether that be military, college, workforce, whatever the case may be. Life's about to get even more busy and stressful as it already is, and I made the decision to let's hold back on these podcasts a little bit. We're going to start the podcast, but instead of doing them weekly, we're going to do them monthly from now on. And a few good things are going to come out of this. So I had a few things in mind when I was thinking about this plan here for the channel. And I was like, if we do monthly podcasts, not only would that give us more time to, do what we need to do, like in our actual lives, whether that be school or whatever the case may be, but that will also give us an opportunity to, if we so desire to make more content for this channel, which I have a lot of plans for this channel. It's just, I love writing video essays. It takes forever. And then on top of that, I do, a lot of the podcast planning. I do the setting up and stuff. So my time as far as like, what I can do for a channel is pretty restrained as it already is. I really went into this idea of doing a monthly podcast with the thought of having more time for, just about everything. So I feel like although our podcast will now be monthly and this will be the last weekly podcast, you would most likely see more content on the channel, which is the goal here. We want to keep you guys entertained. And then I also, given the podcast is once a month, that gives me more time to plan things out, make it a little bit more, higher quality, production value, stuff like that. I really want to make this, something special and something that we can all come back to and be like, wow, that was really cool that we did, all those years back. But yeah, you guys have anything you want to say about that? That's
the dating of the podcast, it's going to be on the last Friday of every month.
Exactly.
How long will the
That's what we're
podcast
going
be?
to start going on with it. And I totally agree with you, Jalen. It'll give us more time to plan our podcast out, have things more well thought out. Yeah, it'll also allow us to cover more things in our podcast instead of just what goes on a weekly basis. We'll have the entire month to see what's going on, and then almost like a monthly recap of what's going on in the entertainment world.
Exactly. And yeah, Miguel brought up a really good point. How long will it be? I was actually kind of hoping that it will be longer, probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours, instead of just 1 hour, because like you said, Max, we will have, way more content to cover. And I also this feels kind of formulaic, what we're doing right now, which I don't have an issue with. I love talking about what we talk about, and I love talking about it with you guys. But it feels a bit formulaic. It feels like too newsy for me, I guess. I want to feel more like a conversation, if anything. I don't want it to feel like we're playing catch up. So that's I feel like that's another reason why I want to make it once a month. And I just feel like it's a really good idea. So that's pretty much.
No, we'll see how it goes. It's a new thing, and definitely how our viewer base reacts to it.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoy it, y'all make sure to let us know.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestions, also let us know.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I have this one suggestion from Matt, actually. He said to do 2 podcasts a month on the second and last Friday of each month. So there's things we can work around here. There's things we can practice and stuff like that. Nothing's set in stone quite yet, but just yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely a testing phase. So as much feedback as you guys can give would be amazing.
Yep. So nothing too crazy is going to come out of all of this. Like I said, if anything, expect more content. I think that's the goal, and then also we'll have more time to do the stuff we need to in our personal lives. So realistically, that's pretty much as far as the channel changes go. I don't think there's anything else major. Nope, I cannot remember. But moving on, regardless, guys.
If I could actually chime in real quick, Jalen, you asked us how we were doing and what we were up to. What are you doing and what are you up to?
I appreciate that. Well, I lately I've been looking at colleges and whatnot because I actually got the opportunity. Well, firstly, let me backtrack real quick. Last week we didn't have a podcast because Jake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me backtrack real quick. Last week we didn't have a podcast because Jake found himself in a car accident. He's fine. He's doing good. Everyone that was in that car accident, from what I know, they're all doing well. Nothing too crazy there, but that's what happened last week. That's why we canceled it, and that's why we didn't do it last week. But as far as I go, I was offered an opportunity because I was in Air Force ROTC at high school. I was offered an opportunity for any college in the country, any HBCU in the country, full ride scholarship.
Wow!
As long as I do their ROTC program. So up in
Have you do you have your mindset on any of them? Or are you looking at any one in specific?
as of right now, I'm looking at Howard in DC, but
Okay.
Okay.
up until this point, man, like this was a total shock to me. Up until this point, I was set in stone on going to the Air Force like right out of high school and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I still have a lot of thinking to do. I still have a lot of planning to do. Nothing set in stone, and as far as I can tell, man, even if I do decide to go to college, it definitely won't be until the winter semester, simply because of everything that's happening right now. I'm not even in a rush,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, because of that, because I'm not in a rush, I got a job. I'm making pizzas now, so we're
Oh, really?
yep, crust pizza off 242, man.
Oh, no way!
Yes,
I work off
sir.
of the Whataburger on the other side of 242.
Really? Okay, so
Yeah.
I thought you worked at the Whataburger because it seems like everyone works at this Whataburger. I thought you worked on the one off Sawdust.
No, no, I do know a lot of people that work over there. Though. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know what you mean.
I thought you worked
Yeah.
over there. Awesome. Awesome, man. Yeah, so you know that giant HEB they just built?
Yeah, yeah,
Y-
that's right by my girlfriend's neighborhood. You literally work like right in front of her neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like my job's legit just across the street. I just have to cross the road, then I'm there. It's awesome.
Nice.
I don't know if you know, but I used to be a pizza maker myself at Pizza Hut.
Did you really?
I did, yeah, no, it was horrible.
Oh no! Oh no!
I hated working at Pizza Hut. And
Oh
like no
no!
shame towards Pizza Hut or anything. It's just that specific location with those managers, it was terrible.
Yeah, I'm more of a Domino's person. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But can't all Pizza the Hut.
I still have all my shirts and my hat that says that. Yeah. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Yeah, man.
We are not sponsored by Pizza Hut or Crust or Whataburger or any affiliating companies.
But yeah. Other than that, I just been chilling, playing games. I've been playing through a whole bunch of games in my PS4 backlog. So right now I'm going through Heavy Rain.
Mhm.
Game came out a decade ago, but I thought I'd give it a shot. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
remember when PS4 or PS like when you had the PS Plus and all that, Heavy Rain came out for free with what was it? The Android thing, Detroit.
oh yeah, that's how I got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly what happened
They
actually.
didn't they release a couple of games that month that were set to be released, and everybody was so upset about it that they
Changed
redid it and then released
Yeah.
Detroit
I
and
think
Heavy Rain.
I think
Yeah.
I think the original game was supposed to be FIFA. I think that's what
Yeah.
it was, and people were livid, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
because FIFA's a very like it's a niche game.
yeah,
You know,
100%.
it's just like it's hard to appeal to a general public with a sports game.
Yeah.
Not everybody plays sports games as popular as they are. Not everybody can enjoy. Oh, let's play a sports game. Everybody can enjoy a good story.
Exactly. And yeah, I've played all the Quantic Dream games, with the exception of Indigo Prophecy, which I love Quantic Dream. First of all, I love Detroit. I love Beyond Two Souls. Heavy Rain is great so far. They have Indigo Prophecy on the PlayStation Store on PS4, so I'm thinking about picking that up once I finish Heavy Rain. But yeah, man, it's just every single Quantic Dream game is amazing, and
Yeah,
like
and I played through Detroit for about 2 of the endings.
Yeah.
And I just I didn't know how I was gonna put more time into that game. Honestly,
Man.
there's so much to do.
I played through
there's so many
Detroit.
different paths.
I played through Detroit at least 6 times and got 6 completely different endings. Man, I love that game.
Exactly.
I love that
It
game.
has really good replayability.
Yeah, and dude, there were so many times. Like, first off, the soundtrack in that game is something else. I love the
Yes.
music in that game.
Yes.
Secondly, man, the character development was awesome. Even like the side
Oh,
side
man.
characters, like
Yeah.
who was Marcus's like girlfriend? Oh, man, I can't remember. But like, she was like a brunette android or whatever, and yeah, like the side characters were done well. Marcus's caretaker, just
Mm-hmm.
Kara,
Marcus's caretaker was one of my favorite
Alice.
humans in the game.
Yeah, man, Kara,
At least
Alice.
with one of the playthroughs I did, he was one of my favorite humans in the game. I don't know if there were others that were really good like him.
Yeah, man. I don't. depending on how you play the game, Hank can be a really awesome guy too.
Okay.
But
Who was Hank again?
the police officer,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, the one that was with Connor the whole time. But
I ended up getting Connor killed. I think I had him. I think he had a run-in with Marcus on one of my playthroughs,
Oh, yeah.
and I got Connor killed. But I ended up going to the underground rebellion with all the droids. That was neat.
I love the the pacifist game. Like
Yeah.
that walkthrough. I just love that ending and everything. But yeah. On the topic of video games, real quick though. So as we all know, PS5. I almost said PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Supposedly, no release date as of now. Supposedly they'll still be releasing this year despite everything that's happening. And with that being said, a lot of games are getting free upgrades. So like we saw with the transition from, the 7th to 8th gen of gaming, we saw Call of Duty Ghosts. If you buy it on PS4 or Xbox 360, you get it on Xbox One or PS4. However, you have to, pay only $10 for it. So realistically, you're only spending $70 and some change for 2 games. This time they're taking a bit of a different approach. They're saying if you buy, an example is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you buy that on PS4 or Xbox One, you get it for free on the next gen consoles. So you buy Cyberpunk, you get it for free.
I was just about to say Cyberpunk in the new Marvel's Avengers game.
Yeah. So very pro-consumer. This week we actually found out that EA, which, okay, go figure, we already know where this is gonna go. EA said that
Jake's not here.
Jake isn't here, man. He's still recovering, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's why this topic will be pretty quick. But EA said that Star Wars Squadrons will not have a upgrade program at all. If you want the game on both your PS4 and PS5, expect to pay $40 for both versions of the game. Which I find it funny that this is their approach here, because an article came out recently saying how Star Wars Squadrons is going to be releasing at a budget price simply because it's not very demanding and doesn't use a lot of resources. It's a cheap game to make. It's not, it's nothing crazy.
And honestly, respect on EA for doing that. There's a lot of companies out there nowadays that have gone super corporate and tried to money grab it. And for EA to do something like that, I personally respect them for that decision.
Yeah.
They know what they're putting in, and they know what people are wanting to get out of it. So they're only charging, for what you're truly getting out of it. Not just because it's from this big company, you're gonna pay a lot of big bucks.
Right now, I kind of got beef with EA. Like, what's it called? Like, you know how you have to have like an EA account to like play certain games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, it's saying like my account's invalid, so I can't play like some of my EA games. And I'm like, I wouldn't gone to like customer service to ask them, hey, what's going on with it. So I went through like the whole customer service thing. Though they said we'll contact you in a bit. That was about Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't heard back from them, so. Yeah.
Yep, that's EA, and
Yep.
just like Max was saying with their consumerism, there also won't be any microtransactions in Star Wars Squadrons at all. I mean,
watching the trailer for it really impressed me on that. I remember actually watching the trailer and thinking to myself, like this would be great in VR. And as soon as I thought that they're like you could play the game either with the controller or in VR, I was like, no way, that's amazing.
Which that is a topic for another video, because I have a lot of gripes about that. I feel like playing in VR, let's say a person's playing in VR versus a person playing with a controller. That person playing in VR has such an advantage. It's not even funny, dude. Such an advantage. That's like PC and console.
Unless they put you in separate things for like VR only and controller only.
Oh, yeah. I doubt that they're gonna do that until VR becomes more mainstream.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
I don't think they'd have a big enough player base to run full scale games like that.
But yeah. So EA, like I said, they came out and said that if you want Star Wars Squadrons on your PS5 and PS4, you're gonna be spending upwards of $80 for this game, and people were not happy about that. me personally, Jake and I. We always play Star Wars games. We love them. We love the franchise, and I was really hoping to get this. He already pre-ordered it, dude. Without even thinking twice, that dude pre-ordered that game so fast. But
Oh wow.
now I'm on the fence. Now I'm like, do I want to, do I want to buy the PS4 version because it comes out in October? The PS5 won't be out by the time this game comes out, and we also don't know when the PS5 version or the Xbox Series X version of the game will be releasing either. And they never said any, date and date thing. They never said, once the day the PS5 comes out is the day you can play Squadrons. They never said anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking well into 2021 is when we'll see Squadrons on the next gen consoles. And, now I'm in, a very tough situation in the sense that do I want to get this on the less performing machine and be able to play with Jake, or is Jake going to cancel his pre-order and wait till PS5, or is he going to be able to get the PS5? Am I going to be able to get there's so many variables here, and I feel like EA's being a little bit vague, which granted is still pretty early on, is only it's only August, but I just
Well, Ian Frazier, the creative director for the game, did tweet that they're not planning on releasing a separate version of the game for next gen consoles.
Hold on.
Wait, they're not releasing a separate version?
No. He said that backwards. To quote the tweet directly from Ian Frazier, we are not planning on a. Sorry, let me retry that real quick. We're not planning a separate version of the game for next-gen consoles, but yes, the backwards compatibility should work. So you'll still have to buy it for the PS4, but they won't be releasing a certified PlayStation 5 version of Squadrons.
I think this was all poor miscommunication then, because
Yeah.
the article made it seem as if you wanted to play on both your PS4 and PS5, you had to buy two versions of the game.
Yeah.
How many articles were saying that?
Every single article that was mentioned in it really it made it seem as if you had to buy two different versions of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what caught my eye, because I was like, that doesn't sound right. You see all these other publishers and devs, they're like, if you buy it on PS4, you get it free for PS5. It took me by shock, because I was like, I'm going to spend $80 for, granted, it's only $80 for two games. Like, last generation, you were spending $70 for two games. But I was like, what? I was really confused. And yeah, it just took me by storm. But at the same time, it also makes sense, because you see, devs like 2K, they're saying that their games are going to be $70 on the next gen hardware. So realistically speaking, there's a trade-off there. There's a lot of variables here, and it's really early to tell, what everything's going to be priced. I just hate the fact that, we have games coming out next generation that are confirmed to be $70 at launch. We have games that are confirmed to be 60. We have games that are confirmed, Ubisoft said that their games are going to be 60. Squadrons is 40. I think we just need a definitive MSRP. Obviously, Squadrons is a budget game. It's a budget title. It's not meant to cost 60 or 70. We really just need more information about this next generation of gaming, because I'm kind of worried in a sense that I don't want to be spending upwards of $700 for a console and a couple games, this fall, this winter. So, being a consumer, being, deeply invested in this hobby, I want to know what I have to buy and what prices that I'm buying them at, I feel like that's only fair to the consumer. Yeah. So, I just thought that was really interesting in the sense that, I think I need to do a bit more research and like reread, some articles and stuff like that, and read stuff from EA on their plans with this game. But I really do think it's just a lot of miscommunication going around.
Yeah.
They'll probably release something out a bit, like, a bit later on, like clarifying what's all going on and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And then I believe August 5th. Sometime next week there's supposed to be a PlayStation State of Play, which is like a small little like press conference sort of thing they hold on YouTube. They show off a couple of new games and stuff like that. Maybe it'll get EA and Sony are kind of butt buddies, so maybe it'll get some news there. Only time will tell, really. But Yeah, I just
Yeah.
thought that was really interesting though. You guys want to talk about Tenet?
Yeah, let's go ahead with this mind screw. Keep it PG.
So, by
I'm
the
not
way,
going to work anytime soon. That's the moral of the story.
you're the person Christopher Nolan hates right now.
Yeah, he hates me, but you know what? I'm fine with it right now. I'm getting unemployment, even though they, cut my thing in half. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. So yeah,
It was a good run.
Tenet is this upcoming Christopher Nolan film that is supposed to be coming out, or it was supposed to come out in June, I believe, July, something like that, earlier this summer. But because of the current situation, we are all in. Keep wearing a mask. It didn't. It got pushed back, and I called this so long ago, and I was happy that it happened. Yeah, it got pushed back by like a week, and then it got pushed back by another week, and then another week, and then it was delayed indefinitely, and then this week it was announced that Tenet would be opening up internationally on August 26th, I believe, and then in the U.S. Labor Day weekend. So obviously we're getting it later because we are, still dealing with COVID, and we still
This
have.
is gonna get pushed back again.
Oh, 100%, man. We still have a lot of, man. I don't want to turn this into a political thing, which I'm sorry. A pandemic should never have been politicized. That's besides the
Yeah.
point. But we are so far, so far gone in our progress to, mitigate the spread.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see this movie releasing in the States until next year. I'm telling you that right now. But yeah, Christopher Nolan's been constantly been trying to get this pushed in theaters for a reason. It's understandable. If you've seen a Nolan movie, you know why he's trying to get this in theater. It's like every single Nolan movie is just eye candy. You have to see on that big screen. But
I can see it at home.
it's just, yeah, man. I have a 4K TV. It comes to the point where you got to realize right now is not the time for it. Release it next year or release it on demand, on streaming, and then once things start clearing up, not only would you have gained the revenue from the streams, but if your movie's this good, if you release it at home first, hear me out. If you release this movie at home and it's as good as you make it out to be, everyone loves it, people are going to spend their money again to go see it in that definitive experience in theaters. I know damn well, dude. If I were to buy this movie on a streaming retailer, and I love it, I watched it in 4K, great sound, and I love it. As soon as I see that movie's coming out to theaters in summer 2021, I will be the first to see it in theaters because, firstly, that's the definitive way to watch a Nolan film. Secondly, I wouldn't mind spending money on something that I already know I'm going to get my money's worth out of.
Yeah.
So I really believe that, if anything, he should release it digitally, especially in the States. Internationally, hey, they're doing their own thing over there. They're pretty much done with COVID for now.
Pretty much.
Man,
I mean, a lot of other countries have been making very diligent efforts.
Exactly.
It seems like it's just America that's like, nah, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's do everything counterproductive.
Yep. And
I want to be different. I'm not like other countries.
Bro, you see, I'm trying to be in freaking endgame of this freaking pandemic.
yeah.
I'm not saying like where people are like, dead and stuff. I'm saying like we're finally free to go everywhere and stuff. Man, I'm trying to go to the club. I finally turned 18. Haven't been able to go to the club at all.
I know,
Like-
right? It's like you turn 18, like you can now do all of these things, and then like COVID came and it's like, yeah, never mind.
Like, look, I'm ready to go to the club. I'm ready for everything. But no, freaking COVID over here said nope. You get your freaking club here. If you want to go to a strip club, you got OnlyFans. No thanks.
Check out the description next week, boys.
Yeah.
Purple feet pics. But yeah, man, I wouldn't even. I don't mind getting a little political here. This whole COVID thing, man, it's obviously ruined media. And 2021, I see a lot bigger issues in 2021 because everything's pushed back. The movies that were already done, like Black Widow, I don't see that being an issue. However, the movies that were in the middle of filming, John Wick 4, Matrix 4,
Speaking
Eternals.
of John Wick, actually, completely off topic, I watched the first 2 John Wicks for the very first time the other week, and
How'd you
I
like
liked
them?
them. I liked them.
They're
The second one was
amazing.
all right. It
Yeah.
seemed a bit fast paced.
Yeah.
For my liking, like everything just happened like super quick,
hmm
which like it's all right. It's still a John Wick movie. I'm not gonna hate on it, but it just seemed a bit fast paced. The first one though, like oh man, I loved it.
Yeah, if without any spoilers, which I'm not going to spoil the third one, but the first two have been out for a while now. If I had to like give my consensus on all three of them, the first one has the best story, the second one has the best soundtrack, and the third one has the best action. Max, I'm telling you, once you watch the third movie,
It's
you're gonna
like Michael Bay on steroids.
you're gonna think the first two movies were jokes, bro. There is some sequences in that movie, and I'm like, what? There was this one
Oh, man.
dude. I'm not even gonna tell you how this goes down, but there's a knife fight that's gonna blow your mind, dude. The third movie blows it out of the
knife is
water.
in your aorta, pull it out, and you'll bleed to death. That's a professional courtesy.
The franchise as a whole is awesome, and but yeah, I don't know, man. So like I said, I feel like 2021's gonna cause a lot more bigger issues as far as filming goes, because all these films were pushed back because of COVID. They halted production, they halted the making of these films, and not even films but video games as well. People are working at home and it takes longer to make a video game. We hear stuff like 343 Industries right now making Halo. I don't know what Halo it is. Halo Infinite.
Whichever one's
Halo
coming
at home.
next.
I don't know, man. The one that looks like trash. They're making
Infinite?
that. Yeah, a Gorilla Boy in that game. They were making that game, and not only is there a whole bunch of issues within 343 Industries, but they're not able to fine tune a lot of things because you don't have the same resources at home as you do at your job. So I feel like a lot of media is going to be worse off next year because of all the pushbacks this year. And
we're gonna see a scene in a movie where it's gonna be like we're gonna have like a scene that looks pretty good, and you get to the next part, and it's just like, well, what happened here?
And yeah, man, I'm not trying to get political here. I try to keep this page very just about movies and video games and fun and whatnot, but COVID should have never been politicized. Wearing a mask should have never been a left or right issue. It should have been who cares about humans and who doesn't.
Exactly. It really should have. I mean, things would have gone a lot better if everybody would have just taken into account not only their own safety, but other people's safety. Because that's the argument I see a lot, like, I'm not sick, why do I need to wear a mask? Well, at that point, it's about your safety.
Yeah.
And even if you're not sick, like, you can get sick. Even if other people have masks on, that doesn't protect you from getting sick.
Yeah, and that's my biggest issue with all this stuff. I just feel like if it wasn't politicized, we could see Tenet in theaters August 28th in the States, man. We really could. It's just ridiculous, and it's gone on way too long.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm moving to London.
Like,
Why
are you dead set on that, or are you
No.
just like saying it?
I'm just saying that.
Okay. Whew. I was like, wow, that's a waste.
They got a lot of clubs in London.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking age is what, like 16?
Yeah.
I'll be a natural.
I think it suits you very well. You'll be like John Boyega there. But
I'll be a foreign.
yeah, man, it really irks me. And it's funny because what made me mad, back in like February and March, was the fact that the movies and games were being delayed and pushed back. What's making me mad now is the fact that we could have already had these movies and games if people would have taken this seriously.
Yeah.
So, to our viewers, what?
I said, and they still ain't.
Oh no,
Yeah.
not at all, man.
It's most likely not going to happen. If anything, this whole COVID thing is going to rage on for at least another 6 months.
Yeah, man. I see the U.S. finally starting to die down next spring, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, this fall and winter is going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Bro, honestly, you know what? The freaking Christmas gift to us all is gonna be the vaccine.
Yeah, they're gonna pull a World War Z.
Merry Christmas. Here you go. Happy Hanukkah. You got the vaccine. You're safe now. There you go.
You guys ever play The Division or seen the trailer for it?
Yeah,
I've seen the trailer for it.
So,
Yeah,
that's
so
what this
you
is.
you know the one with the silhouettes and stuff.
I think so.
That's exactly what I imagine Christmas being like this year, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm
Bro.
honestly a little like I don't want to go all conspiracy theorists, but I'm a little skeptical of the vaccine, especially for background. It takes about 18 months for a vaccine to be normally to be formulated, and then it has to pass through trials, and then it has to be approved for
Yeah.
release to public.
And then we have,
it's
like-
been 8 months maybe, and they're already pushing for this vaccine.
You see, here we have like 5 different people saying, "Oh, I got the cure to it." No, you don't. You got the cure to AIDS, maybe. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too early, and once again, not trying to get political here, but it does take a while to make a vaccine. When all this started, all the health advisors and whatnot were like, yeah, we're not gonna have a vaccine till like spring, summer next year and stuff like that. And then more recently, they're like, oh, we'll have a vaccine out this fall, and it's gonna be available to everyone. I'm like, what? I don't know about that one, Chief. So
Yeah. I mean, I heard on the radio earlier they're giving $2,000 for people to go test the vaccine. They're already testing it.
yeah, it's
Hey, quick question. What do you think Halloween's gonna be like this year?
Non-existent, hopefully.
man.
I hope so bad it's going to be non-existent. As much as I love Halloween, I really hope it doesn't happen this year. But I know that it's going to, just because of how ignorant people are. People are going to let their kids run out into the streets and mix with all these people.
Fact of the
This
matter
Halloween,
is, man.
they're gonna be like, everyone's gonna be a surgeon zombie. That's it.
Firstly, I was really sad whenever the new Halloween movie was delayed to next Halloween. Secondly, fact of the matter is, as far as COVID goes and mitigating the spread of this thing, our federal government needs to take charge, man. That's it. That's really all it is. I think it was Australia. What they did, when all this stuff first started, months ago, back in like March, it was like, all right, granted, Australia's a lot smaller in size compared to the US, but what they did was, hey, for the next 2 weeks, just stay in your house, don't go outside. If you need something, contact the government of Australia, whatever it is. We'll get it to you. We will send you weekly, care packages of food and stuff like that. And they did that for 2 weeks, man, and they were done pretty much with COVID so fast.
Yeah, no, I would say that if we were to keep everybody inside, we could easily reroute a lot of this, or we could easily circumvent this by, if you forced everybody to stay inside, you could reroute our police force to help out a big role in delivering care packages and things like that. There would be no need for them to be out on the streets arresting people or detaining and stuff like that, because nobody would be on the streets.
Yep.
They'd be like, "Hey fam, what you need?" Yeah, PS5 came out. Can you get me that? Yeah, sure. Bring it to your front door. Thanks, man.
Yeah. So I mean, as far I understand Christopher Nolan's intent on wanting to get this in theaters and wanting as many people as
we were
possible.
talking about Tenet.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
we went off on a big tangent. Okay. Yeah, back on track.
I understand why he wants to get this released in theaters, but it's right now, at least for the States, man, it's not the time. It's not the place. You gotta know when to stop. And supposedly Warner Brothers is like 9 times out of 10, you see the studio trying to keep it in theaters, and you see the director trying to pull it out. In this scenario, Warner Bros. Was like, let's not put this in theaters, and Nolan was supposedly the one that was like, this is going in theaters. This is going in theaters. You're not changing my movie. This is going to, it's like, if I was a filmmaker during this, I think I would have enough common sense to be like, okay, the movie's done. Now we just have to wait to make the money. That's it.
Movie's done.
Exactly.
Y'all just can't
Because
watch it.
the thing is, they, especially with uh well-known creators like that, you know, they know people are going to go see their movie.
100%.
So it would make a lot more sense to keep their movie out of the theater, to keep people from going out and seeing it. Keep people inside their homes. Don't give people a reason to go out. You know, it's only going to cause further devastation than what COVID has already caused.
I'm telling you, man, just put the movie on streaming services. Put it on like Vudu and Apple, whatever you pay for Apple movies. Put it on Google.
Yeah.
You know, put it on HBO Max. Let people buy it. Let people watch it through HBO Max. If people like it that much, if your movie is this good as you make it out to be, people are going to go and see it again. That's what people did with Avatar. That's what people did with Endgame. If your movie's that good, people will, in a heartbeat, spend more money to see it again.
I think I saw Endgame 2 different times in theaters. You know, it was a good movie.
Yeah,
and it was worth, you know, buying that extra movie ticket to go and overpriced popcorn and drinks to go see it again.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's another issue that no one's talking about is like the theaters themselves, man. Even let's say, okay, in a perfect world, right? Let's say theaters are open, he's able to release a movie, but it's still COVID. These theaters are going to still have restrictions placed, and you know, seating is going to be very scarce. They're going to probably space out seating and stuff like that. A lot of theaters overseas, this movie's clocking in at 2 hours and 31 minutes. A lot of theaters overseas have a runtime limit now because of COVID. Your movie can't be over 2 hours. So there's just so many things here going on that's like everything's pointing at wait to release it.
Yeah, this is not the best time to release it. You're going to end up losing money releasing it.
He will 100%. This isn't a good look at all.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't lose money from it, the money's not going to come in the same way that it usually does with big title movies like that. You know, I'm going to use the term AAA, you know, with AAA titles and things like that. You know, it most of the time you see not games, my bad. I confused myself saying AAA. But you'll see like big title movies like that, they'll rack in, you know, like $20 million on the first day of release. You know, and that's not going to happen right now.
Not at all.
With the spacing and things like that. It's going to cut your profit and span it over an extended time period, and even then your movie's going to become older and get covered up by all these new movies that are coming out, and your profit is going to end. You're limiting how much money you're going to make.
Moral of the story is this: if your movie doesn't make me cry, don't release it right now.
Yeah.
Don't force it out.
Yeah, man, it's not right now. It's not worth it at all, man. Can't stress that enough. But you know, big rich people don't think with their brains; they think with their wallets. So that's really all it boils down to. But yeah, man, that's pretty much everything that we had planned to talk about. Is there anything else you guys want to mention real quick?
That's all.
I got a car.
You got a car. Ooh.
I got a car. I got a Honda Accent 2013.
I was
hatchback.
really hoping you get a minivan. I don't know why.
Yeah.
With this...
Well, this car is like, it's like a minivan.
Ooh.
Like it's like a grandma type car, like almost like a soccer mom in training type car.
I can
and then
imagine
me, the 6'3".
Yeah. I was about to say I can imagine your big ass in a small car. I was just about to say that.
I'm about twice the size of it. Like my roommate, he said like, you are the last person that I would expect to step out of that car, and I was like, yep, that's the point.
you and I were giants, man.
Yeah, no, I told my girlfriend that I wanted to get a smart car just for the meme of me stepping out of it.
So
'cause I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, man. I've driven a Cooper before.
Oh yeah,
dude.
How was that?
First off, let me get this out of the way. Those things are so small and they're so uncomfortable for me. However, those things are quick, man.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. One of my coworkers has one, and he drove me home in it one time,
And
and like,
dude,
they are speedy.
you can put that thing in sports mode, man.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't even feel like you're, dude. It legit feels like you're just floating across the ground. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I
No,
can't trust myself
they,
with something like that.
no, I cannot. I need that tactile feedback to let me know when I'm messing up.
Yeah, I mean, it was fast, it was fun, but that's not for me, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm 6'3", 230 pounds.
Yeah,
Please don't tell me to fit inside of some smart car or some bug or something like that.
yeah.
It's not gonna work out.
I'm
Your car
bro.
is gonna tilt to one side,
I'm
right?
listen, bro. I'm 6'3" and like 160, man. If I get into
Yeah,
an accident with that, I'm going flying out that window, bro.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
feather, bro. It won't even matter, man. I'm flying, bro.
yeah. No, you definitely are quite a bit lighter.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by giants.
And Miguel's 7 foot.
Yeah.
How tall are you, Miguel?
Uh,
You don't
I'm
have
tall
to answer
enough.
if you don't wish. I'm sorry.
I'm tall enough. I'm
What?
not midget though.
Like average height.
About
as far as I'm concerned, size doesn't matter.
pause.
But
You're right.
yep, yes sir.
I will say there are a lot of downsides to being tall. Apparently, tall people have a higher chance of getting COVID.
I didn't know that. I just know tall people die earlier.
Well, there's studies or quote unquote studies. They haven't been like peer reviewed or anything like that, but apparently they suggest that tall people have a higher chance of getting it, which
Well,
could suggest that that COVID is also transferred through the air and not just particles.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're talking about like ventilation systems and stuff like that, and since tall people are higher up, then we have a higher chance of being near those I don't know, it's honestly in my opinion a BS study,
y'all
but
up there with
like
the altitude,
yeah,
breathing in
exactly.
that air.
Air's thin up here, boys.
Mhm. I will say it has its downside though. Like I go to my grandma's house and I like hit my head on like her fans and her lights that hang down
Yep.
because she has to reach them and she's a tiny woman. And like I'll go over and I'm like having to like weave out of the way when I'm walking through her house.
Yep. It's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it's like walking through one of the dwarfs' house.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, like I said, I'm 230 pounds. Like I'm a decently sized dude.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I'm at work, I feel like a pinball. Like, I'm constantly like I take one step back, which is like two steps for normal people, and like I'm running into people constantly. Like I turn and like my shoulders will like hit somebody in the face. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I can't control these things, man.
It sucks. Yeah, let's just cut off our legs. Actually, we'll do that for our OnlyFans. So once again, guys, OnlyFans will be in the
Yeah.
description next week. It's gonna be a lot
That
of
would be the $50 donation.
it's gonna be a lot of hot
Yep.
stuff in there.
Indeed.
Um, purple,
Purple feet.
yeah,
Purple
purple,
feet, purple arms.
and they're all
Yes.
cut off.
Indeed.
We're getting demonetized so quickly.
It's
What do you mean?
fine,
We were never monetized.
bro.
That's why we're starting OnlyFans. You see,
Yep, exactly.
everything happens for a reason.
Hmm.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys for joining. Like I said, this will be the last podcast until the end of August, and it's crazy to think we're already in August, but we are.
Yeah, not the last podcast in general.
Yeah.
Just
Nope.
the last weekly podcast. We'll start doing monthly.
Yep.
What other ideas have you thought about for the channel besides, your stuff?
Well, I'm also thinking about making a website for the channel, as far as just like a website, kind of like a blog,
Merchandise?
Mm-hmm.
where we can post like news and video game news, movie news, whatever pop
Mhm.
culture news is really going on. We put it on the blog. We have people, if you miss a video, you can go there. If you want to catch up some videos, you can go there and it'll reroute you here, stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I've been thinking about putting together a blog for the channel, and me personally, I'm just trying to make more video essays. I want to make more content like that. So that's really me.
All
Yeah.
right. I kind of have an idea for a video essay. I'll run it by you later.
Bet. I'm all ears, boys.
All right.
But yeah, expect a lot of great content. We're not stopping. If anything, I think as far as the podcast go, it's gonna be a lot higher quality. I'm gonna really try to spice things up next time you guys see us.
Face cams?
We could.
We could do face cams, yeah. I have a very crappy camera, but we can.
That's fine.
As long as we don't see your feet, man, I think we're good.
All right.
Say that for the OnlyFans. You
Yeah,
gotta
I was about to say I'll keep it for the OnlyFans.
Yeah, you gotta keep incentives, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still screwed. We appreciate you guys for joining the podcast. As always, I appreciate Max and Miguel for also. Oh no, Kayla.
What?
What?
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no, she's been getting on to me about that recently.
OnlyFans?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
What? Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Well. Yeah.
Here.
Well. OnlyFans next time. Matt's
Yeah.
purple feet pics.
Yep.
Thank you for joining.
Can't wait.
Thank you for joining.
Peace.